Thank you so much for being here, Miss Kelley. So before we dive into the reason that you're here today, I want to just ask you, what is your favorite holiday song?
I would say our go-to is Sleigh Ride or Santa Claus is Coming to Town.
And why is that?
My kids love that song, and we are avid Christmas carolers in our house. We start very early and always sing the Christmas music. So.
And you mentioned early, are you guys the ones that go before Halloween, or when did the decorations go up?
We do not. We were peer pressured this year by the neighbors who had lights up in October, and my son said, we're not doing that. But right after Halloween, he was like, okay, we need to get our lights up. So we start about the first week of November.
I think that's the best time to do it.
I agree.
Awesome. Well, now that we're done talking about the holidays, let's go ahead and dive into SAT and ACT. So many colleges have waived the SAT and ACT requirement for admission, but is it still important for high school students to worry about?
Yeah, it's definitely important. They did waive it last year. We haven't had the final word on this year, but we're obviously assuming and hoping, but it's not final yet as far as I understand. But typically, outside of a pandemic, 25 states do require SAT or ACT for college admission, and it's also 60% of our scholarships require an SAT or an ACT score. It's also never going to hurt. It can entice some universities, and if you don't like your scores, you don't have to submit. There's a lot of research to prove that testing is really great for learning and retrieval, and so it's a good experience to go through regardless.
Yeah, I know that I personally got caught up in the whole COVID mess. I was trying to take the test in March, and then everything kept getting pushed back and pushed back.
Yes.
So when is the best time for students to take the test this year?
So this year in particular, it might be a little tricky. I would say as soon as you're healthy and can, and a school is open for testing. But under normal circumstances, junior year is typically when you want to take an ACT or a PSAT National Merit, the NMSQT version, and try to get qualified there. This year, there is an exception because of COVID where kids can use SAT as an entry point for National Merit scholarships if they missed the PSAT due to quarantine or COVID. But senior year, right before summer, fall, you definitely want to get signed up for the SAT.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining me today. Back to you guys at the desk.